Hello, I just wanted to make a video update about my health. It's actually a year, this time last year, that we first began to really consider the arachnoiditis diagnosis when I ended up in hospital with an acute flare of symptoms, probably my worst flare, which in my eyes was perhaps a time that I was moving into more adhesive arachnoiditis. But thankfully, because I was given IV steroids, that was not only reversed, but over this past year, I have done a whole lot better since the year before that admission and even before that. And it's actually 6 months since my last flare and treatment with IV steroids, which was at the end of January, beginning of February 2021. So we're a year from the hospital stay and the original diagnosis, and 6 months since the last flare and since I started making these videos. So it felt like a good time to update you on how things have been going. I'm probably at what I would call one of my peaks in my symptom stability and in what I can do. We've actually just been on holiday as a family just within the UK down to Weymouth, which is about 4 hours for me. The travelling is really tough. Long journeys in the car are one of the hardest things for me. I have to stop every 30 minutes to an hour to get out and walk, because I find sitting down in the car after even half an hour, the pain really increases in my lower back, kind of sacrum and lumbar spine. It increases in my neck. The pressure really builds up in the back of my head and my neck, and then into my head, and I get real pressure into my head. Everything after a while just begins to get heavy and difficult. I can sometimes manage about an hour or just over an hour before I have to stop. And the other thing that happens is my legs begin to go numb, and I have to get out the car and walk. And at that point, literally we'll pull into a service station or to the side of the road somewhere I can walk. And I get out and I just shoot off because I have to try and get my legs working again. It can feel like for the first kind of minute like I'm in a relapse or something, because everything's so bad. But if I keep walking, it settles down, and then I can get back in the car. That's the only time at the moment I take pregabalin, and other medication is to travel. But I made it and we had a good time. And the good thing is I've been walking a lot. I've realised on my iPhone I have a health app which tells me how many steps I've done. And now I'm regularly doing over 10,000 steps a day. On holiday I was doing up to kind of 15,000 steps a day. So between about 8 and up to even at times kind of 15 kilometres a day, which is amazing for me to be able to do. That is really good, and it feels good to be able to walk that much, and just keeps control of my symptoms. I still struggle to sit down for any length of time. I do sit down and can sit down at times, but sitting down is a problem for me. But I've definitely noticed and realised that my symptoms are a lot less pronounced in general. I have less pins and needles, less kind of that crawling kind of in my legs, less pain in my spine, although it still is there, and I still need to lie down later on in the day, although I think that's a lot to do with the fact that I can't sit and relax. So lying down is a way of relaxing my body, because I spend most of my day on my feet moving around because of the problems I have sitting. About 2 months ago, I noticed when I ran my fingers through my hair or brushed it or washed it that there was more hair than normal, kind of coming out. And after looking into it, I felt that this could be from the medication. Actually, my consultant had asked me when I last saw him in February whether I'd noticed any hair loss from the diclofenac, because another of his patients had. I also noted that on the prednisolone bottle that it says it can cause hair loss. So for now, because I'm in a more stable time, I've come off both the diclofenac and the prednisolone for now. So I'm just on the every other day 5 milligrams of prednisolone, and I take LDN each day. They too can cause problems with hair loss, but I think it's probably the other things. I also had a blood test that showed my iron levels were okay, but I have low ferratin levels, which is connected to iron. So I'm now on iron tablets, so that could have been part of the problem. But I felt that whilst I was in a more stable time, symptom time, that was the time to come off some more of the medication and see how I do. So I came off the diclofenac and the prednisolone about a month ago, well, about 6 weeks ago with the prednisolone, and things have continued in a more stable time. So that's good, but for now I will keep just to, I think, the every other day steroid and the LDN and see how that goes. Obviously, arachnoiditis is often a kind of a relapsing, remitting kind of illness in a lot of cases. That has been my experience. I'm thankful that I've kind of reached another 6-month point, and as of yet I haven't shown any signs of relapsing, but I never quite know when that will be. So I'm always very aware that that can happen. But whilst things are better, I will continue with this with a slightly lower medication dose, but keeping up with my walking, and hope that I can go as long as possible without fully relapsing again. But I will keep you updated through this channel or my blog or my social media to see how things are progressing. Bye for now.